If I finish live, you call me. Don't call me, okay? Please. I beg you. If I finish live, anybody who want to call me, you can call me on my number. And I'm available. But right now, if you call me, you interrupt me, please. Yeah. That's the main reason the live was cut, you know. Because people were calling me. And I don't want to block nobody. Please. So I don't want to receive call from nobody at this moment of time. Okay. The charger is not working. Now go out and come in. It's working, but it's slow. It's going back. Okay. So please don't call me. Allow me to focus, okay? Allow me to focus, please. I don't want to receive call from nobody right now. Allow me to focus. I want people to allow me to focus. No, it's working. Let me see this. What do you mean?
You need to go back.
Don't worry.
Okay. You go here. Okay, I will write something, just that we restart.
No, but I want to know. Oh, okay. No, someone said they took him down very soon. No. I just don't get it, you know, because when people call me, they interrupt my life, you know. Please, I don't want no call, and I will block people if any call enter now. I will block the number directly.
Start again live.
I will block from here.
Go out from this live. It's pity. It was so much. I write here.
I go back, okay. Guys, I know you guys are not seeing me, so I will go back again and start the live. Maybe people on Facebook seeing me, but people on... Or I continue with Facebook, because I don't like it, you know, when people interrupt my life. So I try to get upset. Okay, let's do it like this.
You saw my message there? We restart.
Check it. Not coming.
You need to tell it go out and start live.
Okay, then guys, I will start back the live again. I'm coming back. Okay. If any number call now, block. Okay? Block directly.
Oh, connect to my internet, please. Then it will be not work.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So like I was saying, they can only use... Okay. Please, guys, I don't want to be interrupted by anyone. Please, no call. Any number that call, I will block, please. I make it very clear. I don't want to block nobody, please. After my life, people can call. I can have conversation with people, please. I know it's sometimes to get me, it's difficult because I get many contacts. Many people call me. Many people send me numbers and I have to save numbers to call. Some people by myself, you know. So please, it's not like I don't want to pick nobody call. I don't want to speak with nobody. I feel like to be in communication with Africans is a big strength and big encouragement for me. So I feel so happy when Africans call me and we speak about Africa, because I'm speaking for Africa. So if I am refusing to speak with Africans, then I'm not speaking for Africans. But I'm ready to speak with Africans more and more, each and every day, to share ideas together, because one brain cannot conquer this war. We need more brains on the table. So that's why sometimes I give chance to people to be with people, even on video call, on WhatsApp, I speak with people sometimes. I do that for a reason, because it's not like when I'm on media, then I'm bigger than every other African, so I make myself bigger than every other African. No, I'm not bigger than any African. I work for Africans. I'm a slave for Africa. I accept. And I'm so happy to be a slave for my own peoples, to work for my own peoples. So that's what I want people to understand. I'm a slave to Africa, and I'm willing to work for Africans in any way that I can, in any way that I'm capable to do. So understand that, please. So like I was saying, if the West want to bring out Abdurrahman from power in Niger, and they really want to restore Bazoum into power, the coward leader into power in Niger, why don't they send their own soldiers? Why? But they are pushing Bola Tinubu to push ECOWAS. Who are those soldiers in ECOWAS? Do we have Western militaries in ECOWAS? No. We have our own African brothers in ECOWAS, who they are using them to go against their fellow brothers, so that brother will be killing brother, brother will be fighting against brother, brother will hate brother at the end of the day, brother will become an enemy to brother at the end of the day. This is what they have been always doing to Africa, but this time around they will not succeed. This time around, they will never succeed. Because as you can see, I have been seeing that even some of the Arab countries are now believing that without in support of their fellow brothers, the Arab countries are not going to be free. If black African countries are not free, Arabs are not still free. So I have seen that so many Arab countries have woke up and stood up and believed this, that they can never be free if black African countries are not free. So in this way, they have to support their own blood brothers, and those are black Africans, to stand on their feet. Because Algeria have stood up and have realized that without support of the countries that had border to them, they can never get what they want. And they will always also be in mess. If we are not free, they are not free. Because they are the one who separated themselves from us. They call themselves, they are no more Africans, Arab countries. Yeah, Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, Algeria, to go many Arab countries, they call themselves, they are not Africans. They separate themselves from us. We keep on fighting. We keep on our fight. We are not begging nobody to help us to fight for our continent. We will keep on fighting. And when we fight for Africa, they are included. So they feel ashamed that these black people are fighting for the whole Africa. And we are among Africa, no matter how we call ourselves that we are not Africans, but we are still living in a continent that they are fighting for. So they feel ashamed that we should not sit and watch our fellow brothers to die like this by fighting for a continent where we are living, and we feel like we are not among them. But what if the West finish the black African countries? Where will they face? They are going to face them. That's what is happening to the Arab countries. What if the West, many Arab countries have realized this in Africa. What if the West have finished eating and stealing from the black African countries? Where are they going to face? The Arab countries in Africa. They are going to face them. So it's better, Arab countries now realize this, that it's better we join our brothers and finish these enemies who are stealing from Africa. Because if they finish stealing from these black people, they will come to us to steal from us. So it's better we deal with them. We join our brothers and deal with these enemies. That's why Algeria joined and give supporting hand to Niger. We have Turkey president also, who was very angry on Sweden. That Sweden was the one burning Qurans randomly. Even last week, there was a man in Sweden who burned Quran again. Turkey was so angry about this. Turkey also realized that to join Africa to see the falling down of the Western countries is the best solution for Turkey. Because Turkey was there sponsoring Sweden, giving all support to Sweden, giving every kind of support to Sweden. But Sweden was there against the law of of Turkey. It's only an Arab country right now that is in a doom is Tunis. Tunis have collected a bribe that they should not correct. Tunis president is a criminal. He's a criminal, bandit. But today, Western people will not tell you that Tunis president is a criminal. They will not tell you. Why wouldn't they tell you that Tunis president is a criminal? Because he is accepting whatever they say. And a leader in Africa who accepts whatever Western people say, they call you a good leader. While you are destroying your own fellow brothers, they call you a good leader. While you are making your own fellow brothers to suffer, they call you a good leader. But when you stand for your own brothers, they call you a dictator. This is how they call many African leaders who stood up for their own peoples. They call them a dictator, a terrorist, a murderer, all sorts kind of names. They call you all sorts kind of names. Why do they call you also those sorts kind of names? Because you stand for your African peoples. If you are not a leader, but you are a freedom fighter, you stood up and fight for Africa, they call you a bandit. That a bandit, a criminal group that is in this country, a criminal group in that country. But that is not a criminal group, that is a group that's supported. Why do European Union fight the freedom of terrorists in Africa? European Union says the terrorists between Mali and Niger, they have human rights. So if Mali fight against them, Mali is going against the human right of the terrorists between Mali and Niger. That was the response from European Union. Why is European Union fighting the human right for the terrorists between Mali and Niger who are killing innocent citizens, but they couldn't fight the human right for Africans who are even living in Europe? Now you are fighting for the freedom, the human right for terrorists who are living in Africa, terrorizing them. Those terrorist groups were created by them, so they have to do by all means protect those terrorist groups, not to be destroyed. This is what they are doing. They have a terrorist group in Niger. EU have a terrorist group in Niger. Americans, they have their own terrorist group in Niger. NATO have their camp in Niger. France have their soldiers in Niger. It was before Abdurrahman will come into power. That's why Abdurrahman was a military leader, and he knows how the terrorists were killing the militaries. When they go fight against the terrorists have a weapon that they don't have. The terrorists, they are holding a weapons that the Niger militaries never see those kind of weapons with their two eyes. And where do those weapons come from? From EU. From America. Those weapons came from there. They sponsored them, the terrorists, with weapons so that the terrorists will protect them, so that they will have full feet to steal the uranium from France, from Niger, and bring it to EU and survive with it, because without that uranium, Europe will go in hunger. We are saying, I am praying that Abdurrahman, the Niger military general who took over leadership from Bazoum, should stay there. If he stay there, then you will see what will happen in Europe in next 6 months. Count it. Before December. If Abdurrahman is still the leader, then listen what will happen before December in Europe. Yeah. You will have that Europe is in a difficult condition. Their economy broke down. They are in hunger. To get food, it will be difficult in Europe. Do Europeans think we don't know? We don't know where the food came from? Do they think like that? We know where the food came from. We know where you people are surviving right now. Because you pretend that you don't know what is going on. You don't know where they survive. They pretend that they don't know where they eat food from, where they get food from. Very good. We feed them. And that is the fact. We feed these peoples. We put food on their tables. But today they are angry because Mali was the first country that liberated themselves. They were not angry. Why don't they send ECOWAS to Mali to bring out Assimi Goïta? Because they have already stolen what they have to steal from Mali, and they finish Mali. So they are not worried, even if Mali get themselves. Burkina did. They are not worried. They didn't send ECOWAS because they don't have anything to steal in Burkina. Guinea did. They are not worried because they don't have anything to steal from Guinea. Now when Niger did, and when they were in the center of stealing uranium, happy that, okay, now we have a place to survive. Since Russia abandoned us, refused to give us gas, refused to give us anything, now we get a place in Africa called Niger where we get uranium, where we get oil. America also was there. NATO was there, stealing uranium, surviving with it. They are happy. And all of a sudden, it was cut off by Abdurrahman, the military general, when he made a coup and deported all of them. The embassies, the citizens, deport all of them. This hurt them so much. Because that Niger was the only dependent place that they are depending on. They don't have any place to depend on without Niger. That's why they people don't understand one thing here. They can make a big war. They can cause a big war between Africans because of Niger. Because they know what they get from Niger. They are not fighting because they want to restore peace in Niger. They are fighting because of the uranium they get from Niger. Because they know Niger is the only survival country that they have. They don't have any country to survive with. Niger is the only country that they survive through. I'm not understanding you, Charlie. I don't understand what is going on. So there is going back. Okay. No, I'm talking about that one. So you see, this is the only problem they are having. But you know, Nigerian soldiers are not peoples who can fight against Niger. Because Niger have more capabilities. Niger, we have more support from all countries, as we can see. And the countries that are parading themselves, they want to remove Abdurrahman and restore Bazoum into power. Those are leaders that if I watch them in their own country, they don't even rule their own country. Their own country don't have security. The security to their own country is zero. Because if you check Gambia, the Gambian president who is lamenting, his own country is in mess. He couldn't take care of Gambia. Gambian president who couldn't take care of Gambia. Who couldn't even, Gambian population is just 2 million. 2 million people, just 2 million people. Gambia, a small country like Gambia. A president cannot control that country. You cannot even put a good security. You cannot even develop that small country with small population like 2 million. Now you are saying you want to free Niger president, the coward leader. You want to restore him into power. But you couldn't restore peace in Gambia. You couldn't restore development in Gambia. The development you have been destroying, Jambe development, the former president to the Gambia, Jambe, the development he do, Adama Barrow, since you came into power, you destroy all those development. You couldn't restore those development. Now you are saying you want to go and restore peace. You restore another leader. Remember this president, Adama Barrow, Gambian president, if you can restore Bazoum into power in Niger, then I tell you that Gambians will have the possibility to restore Yaya Jammeh into power and remove you. Believe me. Then believe that if you have this belief that you can restore Bazoum into power in Niger, then Gambians have the power to restore Yaya Jammeh into power and remove a coward leader like you, Adama Barrow, Gambian president. Believe me. If you don't believe me, then try it. If Bazoum in Niger go into power, was restored in power, then believe that your leadership is end. Because Yaya Jammeh will be restored in Gambia. Either you like it or not. Yaya Jammeh will be restored in Gambia. If you believe that ECOWAS can guide you, we are just watching you and ECOWAS coward soldiers who are holding just AK-47. ECOWAS coward soldiers who are nothing but a coward fools who they use them to fight against their own brothers. ECOWAS coward soldiers and ECOWAS coward leaders like Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Akufo-Addo, Senegal President Macky Sall, and you Gambian President, who is not even capable to develop just 2 million people in a small country like Gambia. 2 million people. Not long ago, we even reached 2 million people. Before we are one and a half million. Not long ago, we have 2 million people in Gambia. You couldn't restore peace in that 2 million country, 2 million people country. You cannot develop a country, a small country like Gambia, that is just 2 million where if you want to develop Gambia, you can make Gambia an estate. I will not say you build an estate. Gambia is an estate. It's not a country. You cannot develop that estate. You want to go and restore peace in another man's land, a country that is holding more than 10 million peoples. You want to go and restore the leader there. When their militaries are more than Gambian militaries. Niger militaries, we have militaries who are almost 137,000 militaries in Niger. Gambia, we don't even have even 20,000, good 20,000 military we don't have. 20,000 military we don't have in Gambia. If you check Gambian militaries, all Gambian militaries from looking ground onto the Gambia, you will see that maybe we have just maybe 4,000, 5,000 militaries. If you remove 4,000 from Gambian militaries, it's finished. You want to go and fight against a country that have 137,000. 137,000 militaries. We don't come to the security. We don't come to the secret agents. Those are not among. I'm just talking the normal militaries in Niger. 137,000 militaries. Of course, Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Nigerian soldiers have been doing a great job. But look, you the Nigerian soldiers, if I will advise you peoples, how many Nigerian soldiers loses their soul fighting against only ordinary terrorists, ordinary kidnappers kill you in the bush because you don't have a good weapon. Your government refused to give you a good weapon because your government know that the terrorist group you are fighting against, that those terrorist groups were created by the West. And the government of Nigeria refused to give you, the Nigerian soldiers, a good weapon to fight against those kidnappers and terrorists. Ordinary kidnappers kill you people in the bush. Nigerian soldiers, think about it, and you want to go and fight a full soldiers that is having a support from Mali, from Burkina, from Algeria, from Turkey, from even Russia. You want to go and fight against that country. Ordinary kidnappers, maybe five men, fight against Nigerian soldiers will go to bush and have a conflict with five peoples who are kidnappers, and kidnappers will make you tired. You think like that is war? That is not a war. That is just a friendly fight. What you are facing in Nigeria in the hand of kidnappers, in the hand of Boko Haram, that is just a friendly fight. It's not a war. Come on, people who experience war, when they tell you war, you will understand what is war. That's why I tell you the AK-47 you hold in Nigeria, the AK-47 you are holding, you are proud of it that I have a gun, I'm a military. That AK-47, if you go to Niger, that AK-47 will become a toy gun in your hand because you will feel like there's no bullet coming out from it. Due to the dangerousness of the war that you will receive in Niger. You will feel like the AK-47 you are holding is no more removing out bullet. When you pull the trigger, you will feel like no bullet is going. When people are trying pull, boom, boom, you are there, ta. You will feel guilty by yourself. Go there. If you don't believe what I'm saying. So this is my advice to you, the Nigerians militaries, that you don't even have the capability to fight against kidnappers, ordinary kidnappers in Nigeria. You couldn't fight against them because they have more weapons. Even ordinary kidnappers who go and borrow weapons, they have more dangerous weapons than Nigerian soldiers. You couldn't fight over them. You couldn't control the kidnapping situation in Nigeria. Bola Tinubu, this is a big shame on you. If EU want to help you, or the Western peoples want to help Nigeria, let them help you to fight against the terrorist group that they have created in Nigeria. Because all those terrorist groups in Nigeria are created by the Western peoples, EU and America. If America and EU really want to help you, Bola Tinubu, let them give your soldiers a weapon to fight against those terrorists and kidnappers in Nigeria. Let Nigeria have freedom and let them help you to install and restore full energy of light to Nigerian peoples. Because Nigerian people are living in darkness. And you say you cut light to Niger. Nigeria cut their current that they give to Niger. You give Niger an empty cable that you go and cut. If you cannot supply your own people with light, your own people are living in darkness, how can you supply Niger a light? When Nigeria don't even have enough light, Nigerians are crying, NEPA is not there, and every day they are paying bills every month. You are not even capable to give your people a light. You say you are giving another people light. Can you remove your eyes when you don't have eyes to see? Can you tell me that you give eyes to somebody? When you don't have eyes to see, you are already living in darkness. You are telling me that I give my light to somebody. When you don't have light, you go and cut it. Empty cable, you cut it there. That's why you think Niger will be worried about that. Niger is not worried when you cut empty cable. Because they are paying bills to Nigeria, that Nigeria give them light. While the government is not giving them light, it just give them empty cables. When you cut it, you will see something in Niger that is bigger than Nigerian light. So Bola Tinubu, feel ashamed of yourself. You know, Bola Tinubu, when I'm speaking to you, sometimes I feel like I'm stupid. Because I'm speaking to a man who is just like a child. Who is very foolish. A dog. A dog. I'm speaking to a dog. When I speak to Bola Tinubu, sometimes I feel like I'm the one who is stupid. Because I know that I'm speaking to someone who is just like a dog. Even a dog is more intelligent than someone that I'm speaking to right now. But I have to speak so that the people in that country, if Bola Tinubu will not hear me, the militaries will know what I'm saying. I'm talking on behalf of the Nigerian militaries for them to have peace in their life, for them to save their energy and their life. Nigeria, if you are a soldier in Nigeria, take your AK-47, you know it. Pack it, put gun, put bullet, go and protect your own family at home. because your own family is not safe. You are there going to fight for European freedom, for Europeans to have freedom to steal in Niger. When your family will be kidnapped, you will not have a weapon to fight against the kidnappers. Think about it. How many families have been kidnapped in Nigeria? How many families have been murdered in the hand of kidnappers? When the Nigerian military couldn't even have a good weapon to fight against them. How many fake militaries do we have in Nigeria? Militaries couldn't even control their own stable, their own stations. I will tell you this, if they make you to go and kill yourself in Niger, tomorrow, you will die today, tomorrow your family will be kidnapped in Nigeria. Who will protect them for you? Because kidnapping in Nigeria will never stop. I have said it before, Nigeria is the giant of Africa and they never want to see Nigeria having a peace. And the only thing they will do is to make Nigerians to fight against each and every African country that want to liberate themselves. They use Nigeria as a weapon. So the government is there. The government is not having sense. They are using the Nigerian government to use the Nigerian militaries as a weapon to fight against all African countries that want to liberate themselves, so that there will become a war. All these African countries will go against Nigeria. And if that happens, then Nigeria will never get itself. Because they know if Nigeria liberates today, all Africa will be liberated. Do you think what Mali have today as a military who is ready to liberate Africa? If Nigeria have that one, do you think what we are saying today, we will be saying that? Nigeria, they know if Nigeria have that kind of thing, if that kind of thing happen in Nigeria, what happened in Niger, what happened in Mali, what happened in Burkina, if it happened in Nigeria, they know they are finished. The West know this. This is very clear to the West, that if what happened in Mali, and what happened in Burkina, what happened in Niger, now Nigeria is the next, and if it happened in Nigeria, it's a problem for them. But most of the people are not understanding this strategy. That they want to use Nigeria against us and to use us against Nigeria. Because they know if they use Nigeria against the countries that want to gain their own freedom, then we will all fight against Nigeria. And say Nigeria don't want us to be free. No, it's not Nigeria. It's the dog that they have. The dog leader that they have there. It's not Nigeria. Don't blame Nigeria. I don't blame Nigeria. I still see Nigerians as my brothers. Even Nigerian militaries, I see them as my brothers. I'm seeing only Bola Tinubu as a dog who is following his owners. That are West, who is following the West. Wherever the West direct him, that's where he go. So the dog cannot make me to fight against my fellow brothers. I will fight against the dog, the mad dog in Nigeria. But today, as you can see, I have seen so many Nigerians go against this. And I appreciate it from them. Nigerians, if you come to freedom, or to speak for freedom, or to fight for freedom, if Nigeria is not the first, then they will never be the last. I know this in my journey since I started fighting for freedom. Nigeria, if Nigerians are not the first, they will never be the last. So let them not make you to hate Nigeria because Bola Tinubu decision. No, don't hate Nigerians because of Bola Tinubu decision. Nigerians are not Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu is not Nigerians. Bola Tinubu is just a dog that follow his owners and make his own decisions due to what West tell him. Believe me. So let them not make you to see Nigerians as they are the people who don't want African freedom. Nigeria don't want. No, don't mention Nigeria. Mention the dog, Bola Tinubu. Mention him. If you want to say someone who don't want the freedom of Africa, mention the dog Bola Tinubu, mention the dog Gambian president, mention the dog Senegal president, mention the dog Ghana president. These are the dogs that doesn't want Africa to be free, that are following the Western command. But I would want if these leaders can watch one of my videos, especially this what I'm going to say right now. I will want is if each and every leader like this, Bola Tinubu, Gambian president, Senegal president, Ghana president, if they can just listen to this statement I want to tell them right now, maybe they can get a little bit sense. They are in Africa. Now they are putting them together, gathering them together to go and fight against their own brother. But how many times have you put European countries to fight against each other? You, the African leaders, Bola Tinubu, Akufo-Addo, Macky Sall, Adama Barrow. How many times do you people use Europeans to fight against another European country? How many times? Ask yourself that question. Do you ever intend to put European brothers to fight against each other? Why are they using you today to fight against your brother? To go and kill yourself in the hand of your brother? Just, if you ask yourself as a president right now, as Adama Barrow or as Macky Sall or as Akufo-Addo or as Tinubu, ask yourself this question. This fight you want to do right now, who are you doing it for? Who are you fighting for? Are you fighting for Africa? No. Are you fighting for your peoples? No. You are fighting for the West. For the benefit of the West. So why are you fighting the benefit of the West when you ask yourself, you want to send ECOWAS, you want to put your soldiers together to go and fight Niger? For what? For your country freedom? For Nigerian freedom? No. For Ghanaian freedom? No. For Senegal freedom? No. For Gambian freedom? No. You are doing it for the freedom of West. For the freedom of Europeans, so that they will have a chance to steal more natural resources from Africa and benefit their peoples. They will never benefit Gambia, they will never benefit Ghana, they will never benefit Senegal, they will never benefit Nigeria. They will benefit Europe, develop Europe, and at the end of the day, you will come to them. They use you fight against your brother, you will come to them to borrow them money. They will tell you nonsense. You go back to your country and sit there with shame. At the end of the day, they tell you to go and fight against your brothers so that they could have a way to steal. At the end of the day, they will call you, Africans are criminals, they are fighting against each other. Africans are in war. They put you into that war, but tomorrow they will sit in their medias and call you a fool. Bola Tinubu, Adama Barrow, Akufo-Addo, Macky Sall, sit and listen and think like this. Think. Because when you go put your soldiers together to go and fight against Niger, you are not fighting for the freedom of your own country, and you are not fighting for the freedom of Africa. You are fighting the freedom of Western peoples. And Western peoples will never fight your freedom. How many of your country citizens have been killed, have been demolished in Europe? Western peoples have never stood up and speak for your country. Today you want to go and fight for West, for the freedom of West. You want to go and fight your brother for the freedom of West. But Nigerian man was killed in Italy here, Alik. I will never forget him. He was murdered in cold blood in Italy here. How many Western countries speak for Nigeria? They never speak. They never fight against the murdering, the killing of black people, innocent black people in Italian street. In France, they kill a Gambian, nothing came out of it. Who speak for Gambia? Nobody. They stamp a Gambians to death. A Gambian boy called Yusuf. They stamp him to death in France. Nothing came out of it. Who speak for him? They kill a Gambian in Germany and bury him so that nobody will know what happened to that Gambian brother. Till the cigarette came to me and I leak it out. That's the time people know that the German man killed a Gambian and he buried him in a cigarette. Who speak for Gambia? Nobody. Who fight for Gambia? Nobody. No Western country will wake up and fight against Germany and say, because you are killing innocent peoples. But today you are there, want to go and fight your fellow brothers because you want the freedom for West. Because the West is telling you that, fight. Fight them. Fight them. Fight your brothers. Sit and think. We will give you support. We will give you weapon. We will give you that. When West want you to destroy your fellow brother, they give you weapons. They support you. But for you to have your own freedom and develop your country, they will never support you. But to go into war, they support an African country to go into war with their own brothers. But they will never support an African country to have their own freedom or development. How many years, for how many decades, you the African leaders have been begging Europeans, the West, begging them for freedom. They refuse to give you freedom. They refuse to help you to develop. They are stealing always from you. Whenever they want you to accept something, they talk about human rights. Whenever they want you to go into war, they tell you that we will support you. They bring you weapons to fight against your brother. Somebody who, when you tell him that, help me to create business for myself and develop myself, he said no. But when he wants you to fight against your brother, he tell you that I will support you. But when you tell him that support me, let me open businesses for myself and grow myself and work for myself, he said no. But when he wants you to kill your own brother, he tell you that go on, I will support you. But he is not ready to support you to develop, but he is ready to support you to kill your own families. This is how you, the African leaders, have to think. The West have this strategy, and that's why I, PANDI MAICA, the West will never love me. But they can also do nothing to me. They can do nothing. Nothing. It is not possible for the West to lay their hand on me. For what reason? Which court will you take me to? Which judgment will you take me to? Because wherever you take me to, I will win the judge, I will win the court, I will win the supremacies, I will go free. Because the West know what I'm saying, that is their behavior. I told you, many people may come to the West to find money and go home and build a house. I don't came to the West to find money and go home. I came to the West to study the West and know who they are and know what they plan against Africa and know the strategies they use to destroy Africa. It has been a long time when they are destroying Africa. Why are they destroying Africa that we couldn't win them? Because we didn't know the strategy they use on us. Nobody was unable to come to the West and study the strategy they use on Africa. This was the main reason they have been destroying Africa for so long. No matter what plan we made, we failed to liberate ourselves. Because they already know what we plan, but we don't know how they plan on us. We didn't know it. So we have to come among them, to study them, to know what plan do they do also. When we know the strategies and their weak point, we could hit them. So you see, at the end of the day, we find out their weak point. We find out how to kick them. Now they are in a pain. They are in a severe pain. They are in a pain. The West is in a pain. Where do Africa get the strategy to know what we plan against them? They are in a pain. Just that we have some dogs in Africa as leaders who are not listening to us. But if they are listening to us, they will understand. I told you I've been speaking with many militaries. I have said it before in my life that I speak with many militaries, that the militaries will help us to liberate Africa. People think I was joking. Even before Mali and Burkina and Guinea will liberate themselves, I make a live here. I was live. I said I am speaking with militaries, even in Ghana. I was saying it before. I said I speak with militaries in many African countries who will help us to liberate Africa because we need them on the board. When I say that, from that day, I have a military group. I have all kind of groups for militaries that we speak each and every time. I don't want no civilian there. I want only militaries in that group. So I join only militaries in that group. I don't mention no military in media. I don't put their pictures in media because it have to be secret for them to do what they have to do. Then after that, it's okay. That's all I want. They don't need popularity. They just need a support. Either in financial or either in strategy, to support them in strategy and financial little bit to get what they want and let them do the needful thing for Africa. Even before Mali will liberate themselves. Why do I communicate with Malian soldiers? In Bambarang. I'm a Bambarang and I can speak Bambarang. When you take me to Mali today, I can speak with Malians like I'm from Mali. When I speak to Malians, they will think like I'm from Mali. I'm not from any other African country. They will think like I'm a Malian. If I told them I'm not a Malian, they will never believe it. Burkina, they have some kind of Mandinkos there. I can speak that language also. So for African leaders today to see Bola Tinubu and Gambian president, what even pained me, the most painful part of this whole story is they can't do nothing. But they are still disturbing our brain. The West know that these leaders they are pushing can't do nothing. I am giving this advice and this plea to West that if they want to fight and restore Bazoum into power in Niger, let them send their militaries. Because those African leaders you are pushing to push their militaries are nothing. So if truly the West is ready to restore Bazoum into power in Niger, let them send their militaries. Let me see and enjoy and watch like a movie how the Western militaries will be dying in Africa. I will be sitting in media here and laughing and celebrating the same way I celebrate the death of Queen Elizabeth in England. I am the only black man in social media who sit and play music and celebrate the death of Queen Elizabeth from England because he is a murderer. He has killed so many Africans. He has murdered so many Africans. He has stole so many things from Africa. That's why when he died, I celebrated him in media million times. I say I will never mourn. And England citizens, most of the England citizens were angry with me, sending me messages, threatening messages. You can threaten me. If you cannot threaten your father in England, you think you can threaten me? If you are England man and you cannot threaten your own fathers, you think you can threaten PANDI MAICA? Who the hell are you? They call me, send me messages, threatening messages. I say, if you can do something, do it. You know where I stay. Why are you sending me messages? Since you know where I stay. Some England citizens were sending me messages. We know where you stay, and automatically we will come for you. You know where I stay, so why are you sending me messages? Do what you have to do, let the world see, and stop sending me messages, because I don't need them. This is what I always reply to them. Do what you have to do, stop sending me messages. If you cannot threaten your father in your house, you cannot threaten PANDI MAICA, because I'm more father than your father in England. So the same thing, if the West want to restore Bosumi into power, let EU send European soldiers. Let them gather together, Italy, France, Germany, Spain, let them put their soldiers together and send them to Niger. And I will sit here and enjoy how their soldiers will be dying in Niger. And I will celebrate and enjoy and celebrate again and again and again. You can never cage Africa into that box where you always cage Africa into again. The time is over. If you realize this, you will sit and you will just beg Africans not to fight Africans. If the West know what is better for them, go and beg Africans to give you some resources, at least for you to sustain yourself. But not to fight us again, because when you fight, we are no more afraid. You think we are afraid? We are no more afraid of death. We are no more afraid to die, to fight for our freedom. Our forefathers feel afraid to die. Our great-grandfathers feel afraid to die. Our fathers feel afraid to die. This is our generation. We know your strategy, and we know we will not die by fighting against the West. We know we will not die. We will only get threatening words, threatening messages from the West, but we will not die. We know it. You threatening our forefathers. We will make war. We will do this. They are afraid to fight for themselves, to even speak for themselves. They feel afraid to speak for themselves, because you always tell them that when they speak for themselves, you say you are against the policy. When they defend themselves, you say you are acting like criminal. When they fight for themselves, you say they are terrorists. This generation, we fight for ourselves and we will speak for ourselves. If you like, tell us that we are criminals or we are against the policy, we are against the human rights. The human rights organization is a terrorist organization. That terrorist organization that is supporting America to how to destroy Africa, always. When America have killed so many citizens in Africa, that was not against the human right. But when you fight against America, or you speak truth to American President Joe Biden, that fool, they call you, they tell you that you are against the policy. And you think we are going to take that rubbish from you, the organization, the EU, the American government, the Inglaterra government, and the so-called terrorist organization that is called Human Rights Law. Do you think we need those terrorist law? When you wanted to destroy Africa, you go to us and emphasize human rights to us. When Africans stood up and said, we will not accept this from West, you say, you have to accept. If you don't accept, you are against human rights. When Africa said, we will not accept this in our countries because we don't like it, you say, if you don't accept, you are against human rights law. When Africans stood up to fight against the terrorist group in Africa, you say they are against the human rights of those terrorists. When do terrorists get human rights? In Europe, do terrorists get human rights? But you are telling in Africa, you are telling Africans that the terrorist group you created in Africa, those terrorists have human rights. So if African militaries fight against them, you say they are against the right of human rights. But we don't have any terrorist group in Europe here. Then all the Africans you have been killing, they have human rights. We should judge you for it. For all the migrants, you make them to sink in this ocean. You are against their human rights and you commit murder. We should judge you for that. If you say by African militaries fighting against the terrorist group that you, the Western peoples, have created in Africa, that means African militaries are against the human rights. And I will say you people are against it. I want people to listen to the Gambian president. Let me see. To the Gambian president. A fool. A very big fool. Listen to the voice of Gambian president. What? What happened? Am I there? Yes. Okay.
Important meeting, and it was urgent for
Listen very
us
carefully.
to come together and discuss the matter. We have discussed unanimously. We agree that I think we have got to the dead end. You cannot accept military rule again in Africa. So we have discussed with our partner, that is AU, and other partners in the West. Basically, we agree that Bazoum must be restored as president. And as we speak, we still accept Bazoum as the president of Niger.
In the event that the military that succeeded in taking over insists that they're going to continue, what will be the take of the ECOWAS heads of state and government?
In the resolution, all options are on the table. And the option is they are giving up to 1 week to release Bazoum and restore him as head of state, or ECOWAS will take action. And it's not ECOWAS alone, it's the entire Africa that is taking action.
Come on. Gambian president, let me just point of correction. Let me say, Gambian president, point of correction. You are just a fool. Which Africa? The entire Africa. Which entire Africa? You are seeing the entire Africa against you, the top leaders in Africa. You are saying that the entire Africa. Which entire Africa? Are we among? No, you fools. You four dog leaders in Africa are just doing the rubbish. Point of correction, the Gambian president. Don't fool yourself, my brother. The West know. The West you are trying to please. The West know that Africa is not with you on this. So Gambian president, even your own Gambian soldiers are not with you on this. Not to talk of the entire Africa. Don't talk of the entire Africa. Just go to Gambia itself and started asking your militaries, are they with you? They are not with you. Ask your PIU officers, are they with you? They are not with you. Ask your immigration officers, are they with you? They are not with you. Ask the Gambian police, are they with you? They are not with you. Ask Gambian citizens, are they with you? They are not with you, because we need freedom. We don't need a coward like you. And a coward like you can speak for us. Mr. President, a coward like you can speak for us. You are just a threat to African liberation that you all should be murdered. Should not believe in. Mr. President, you are just a dog that follow the West, because the West own your mentality. They tell you what to do. They are in control of your senseless brain. We the Africans, we don't get in control of useless leader. We get in control and in contact with a leader who won the liberation of Africa, but not in control of a leader who is senseless. So if you understand this, you are powerless today, Gambian president, because nobody like you, nobody love you, nobody listen to you, nobody watch you, nobody even want to be with you, because you are just a fool who lose power. But you feel like the West is the one that can give you power. The West cannot give you the power you need. We Africans will give you that power that you need if you work for Africa and if you work with we the Africans hand in hand. But not like you sit here and say, we need to develop, Africa need to develop. You are working with the West to destroy Africa more. This was the same Gambian president who was saying that I want to bail so that we will stop begging. We should not beg. He was just making himself like a hero. After the West called him, European Union called him and threatening him, he go back to Gambia and say, you know, we have to do business partnership with Europe in to get more development. After the West have threatening him that we will ban visa from your country. This was the same Gambian president who said our people will not be deported from Europe again. We will not accept deportees from European countries. When they call him and threatening him that we will ban you from coming to Europe and ban European visa from your government officials, he feel afraid. Now he accept deportation. Now Gambians have been deported every day. So we know who you are, Mr. President. No need for you to explain yourself and make yourself a lion when we know that even God is more fearless than you. Don't make yourself a lion. Come on. Even a small child in Gambia who is just 7 years is more lion than you. Africa is now not accepting coward anymore. Don't you understand? That we don't fear death. To fight for ourselves and speak for ourselves is freedom right now. We speak anyhow. We fight anyhow. We say whatever we want to say if it is in the favor of our freedom. We don't care what will happen next. You are just lazy, useless to the entire Africa. Sometimes I feel ashamed of myself. when I watch you as the president of Gambia, when I watch myself and where I stand for Africa and where I want Africa to be, but I still have a leader in my country who is more useless than any other leader in Africa. I feel ashamed of myself, and you are not even feeling ashamed to come out to speak about this. When men are speaking about war in Niger, a woman is coming out to speak about war in Niger. Men of the men's are speaking about war. You came out as a woman. You want to speak about war. What do you know about war? A fearless, a fearful leader in Gambia. What do you know about war? Only Gambia, when President Adama Barrow, when President Yahya Jammeh, the former president of Gambia, when he just throw a pistol in the air, you go under bait. Today you are the one standing talking about war in Gambia. When the former president have just throw pistol, just pistol, he throw one blade of pistol in the air, you enter under the bait. We go and find you under the bait to bring you out. Mr. President, don't feel afraid, this is just a petard. Today you are the one speaking about war. What do you know about war? What do you even know about military, Gambian president? Because the Gambian militaries really know you don't know nothing about military movement. What do you know about military, Mr. President? Come on, go and sit down and eat and bellyful and sleep. Stop disturbing people's brains. When men are talking about Africa, you keep quiet. Because you don't have nothing to say about Africa. Gambian people are ashamed of having a leader like you, who is fearful, coward, a slave. We are even feeling ashamed to even mention your name where big men's names will be mentioned. We feel ashamed to mention your name in media. President Adam Barrow, we feel ashamed to mention your name in media. We the Gambians. So we don't include you where men are speaking. Bola Tinubu is all, but he's man more than you. So we can even talk to Bola Tinubu a little bit. Because why we talk to Bola Tinubu? Because that country is full of great men. Nigeria, not about Bola Tinubu. We speak about Nigeria, not about Bola Tinubu. But we speak about Nigeria because we have many great youths and many great peoples in that country who can still remove that country from a bondage. That's why we speak about that country. But in Gambia, why would we speak about you? Gambian president, I'm just giving you this opportunity to advise you, not even to advise you, but to advise the Gambian soldiers. So I'm just playing you this video for people to know how foolish you are. I'm not playing this video for people to know who you are, because you are nobody in the eyes of PANDI, MAICA, and the entire Africa. When you are telling the EU that come on, let me play this. Listen to this. Who are with you?
All options are on the table. And the option is they are giving up to 1 week to release Bazoum and restore him as head of state, or ECOWAS will take action. And it's not ECOWAS alone, it's the entire Africa that is taking action.
This is what makes me angry, to say the entire Africa. When the EU, the Western peoples that are pushing you dogs to put your soldiers together as ECOWAS and go and fight against Niger, when EU know that the entire Africa is not with you dog leaders. Me and my African people, we are not with you the dog leaders. No. I will not even call you leaders, because if I call you only leaders, you people are supporting you. But if I call you dog, you will know that you are nobody in the eyes of we the Africans. And we the Africans are not in support of whatever ECOWAS, the so-called ECOWAS is planning in Niger. And nobody is begging you to not to go. We are begging you to go there so that we will enjoy how you people will be dying. But I will tell you, the soldiers who are in ECOWAS, I will tell you one thing. That when ECOWAS invaded Niger, Bola Tinubu family will not be dying in Niger. Akufo-Addo family will not be dying in Niger. Adama Barrow Gambian president families will not be dying in Niger. Macky Sall, Senegal president, his family will not be dying in Niger. It's you, the ECOWAS soldiers, who will be losing your soul in Niger. And we will sit here and celebrate it. And the same presidents who will push you to go and do suicide mission will be sitting there eating chicken, enjoying with their family. ECOWAS soldiers, think about your life. Not our life, but think about your own life. Your family depend on you. So far, how do you protect your family? Do you fight for your family? So you put on a uniform to go and do suicide mission. Somebody is pushing you to go and kill yourself for somebody's freedom. not for your own people freedom. If ECOWAS is really there for Africans, then I will say ECOWAS should be the one to chase out France soldiers from each and every African country. ECOWAS soldiers should come together and fight against France soldiers, EU soldiers, NATO soldiers, American soldiers, terrorist group in Africa, and finish all of them for Africa to be free. This is the benefit of ECOWAS. But ECOWAS didn't stand on this because the West was the one promote ECOWAS and prepare this organization as ECOWAS for Africa and give it to Africans. But the West is in the control of this organization they give to Africans. They pretend that we are giving you this to protect you leaders. So that's why leaders are in support, because they pretend to them that we will give you this group. Anybody any leader who is among ECOWAS soldiers will protect you when you have problem. This is why many leaders are still in ECOWAS. Because they fake them, tell them that if you join ECOWAS, if you are a leader, you join ECOWAS, then ECOWAS will protect you if your country militaries want to remove you. But that was not the purpose of ECOWAS in Africa. African leaders, put your senses together. The purpose of ECOWAS in Africa is for the West to choose any leader that they want that leader to be in power, to use the force of African ECOWAS to fight against their fellow brother, to put the leader that they want. That the West want, not what Africans want. Look, Niger, the whole Niger citizens are in support of Abdurrahman. So why do you want to restore Bonzoum into power? Niger citizens are not in support of Bonzoum. All Niger citizens, the whole Niger is in support of Abdurrahman. I think you should look what the country people love. So if the West is talking about democracy and human rights, so Western people are going against the human right of Niger. But they will not talk about human right right now, because they are the one against the human right law, the so-called human right that they always emphasize to Africans. The West is going against human right right now by forcing ECOWAS to go against Nigerian citizens' wills. Because this is the will of Nigerian citizens, for Abdurrahman to lead them instead of Bonzoum. Because Nigerian citizens no more want Bonzoum to rule them. All Nigerian citizens are doing demonstration each and every day to make sure that Abdurrahman stay into power for them. So why do you want to, if you are just, come on Africa, think, Bola Tinubu, please. Think about your lives. Think. The West will never do this. Come on, calm down. The West will never do this. Look at what they are doing to Africa. They will not talk about human right. When we came to human right, they want to give LGBT to Africans because they know LGBT will destroy Africa if Africans accept LGBTQ. They tell you that if you don't accept, you are against human right. But today, to push you to go and invent the right of Nigerian citizens, they are not talking about human right. And that is against human right, because that is against the will of Nigerian citizens. And the whole Niger is in support of Abdurrahman. So if you fight against Abdurrahman to bring down Abdurrahman because of the interest of the West, then means you are against the human right of Nigerian citizens. And that is against the human rights law. Where is the so-called human rights organization? The terrorist organization is keeping quiet. Idiots. Fools. You think we don't know who you people are? Human rights organization. You think we don't know who you are? We know it. You people are the terrorists who always back these European countries and America and UK to destroy Africa more. You are backing them. If I'm a leader in Africa, I will never accept Western policies in my country. I rather build my own policies in my country, but not Western policies. Do I need Western policies in my country? Why? Why do I need Western foreign policies in my country? Don't Africa cannot build their own foreign policy? I will build my own foreign policy. Why will I accept policy from another man? Are you the man ruling my country? You can rule your country and put any foreign policy in your country. I don't care. That's your country. But my country, you cannot tell me which foreign policy I should put in my country. Who the hell are you to tell me? If I'm a leader enough, if you say that, then you will become a history, because I will just murder you instantly. You have the right to rule your fathers and your mothers, not me. You have the right to tell your fathers and your mothers in your country what to do and how to behave, not in Africa. If you are a supremacy, become supremacy to your parents, not in Africa. A white man can never become a supremacy again in Africa. A white man is just like a slave. Our children's in Africa. Don't you understand that a white man, when you go to Africa, we see you as our children, because without us, you can never exist. Black man make white to exist today. And we feed you each and every day. That's why we feed you. We are feeding you since 1850s. 1850s. Since 1850s, we are feeding you, the Western peoples. Because we are the one who give back to you peoples. That's why we feed you. We are not worried. But we have seen that the people we are feeding, they have get bored enough to fight against us. Now we stop feeding you. You are angry. Why are you angry? Don't you know that one day we will stop feeding you? Are you not believing in the revolution that they were telling you since 1970s? That there will be a generation that will not accept to feed the Western peoples anymore. Now we stop feeding you. You are crying. And you want to make fight just because we stop feeding you. European citizens should realize this now, that your government is fooling you when they tell you that we feed Africa. When they tell you that you, the white people, are the one who feed Africa. Then if you are the white people who feed Africa, then why is your government angry that Africa refuses to feed them anymore? So all the European citizens will believe that your government will feed them. So they feed you peoples. But they tell you people that we are feeding Africa. Yeah, we have to help Africa because there are many poor people. They don't have water, they don't have clean water, they don't have doctors, they don't have medicines. But I hope many European citizens will wake up from their racism, believing that Europe feed Africa. You should realize it right now that we feed you. Now we stop feeding you. You see how your prime ministers are in confusion? If you go to all European countries right now, their prime ministers are in confusion. Because Africa stop feeding them. God, we understand. And I'm so many European citizens will feel ashamed of the racism they were doing to black people in Europe, believing that they are the one who feed us. But do we feed you? You think you feed us? No. We can survive without you people. But you people can't without us. You can't survive without us. You have to respect us then. If you know that you can't survive without us, you have to respect us. Give us maximum respect. Salute us when you see a black man. Black man is not your mate. We are not your mate in any way. If you came to hustle, black man is not your mate. If you came to war, black man is not your mate. If you came to survival, black man is not your mate. If you came to intelligence, black man is not your mate. If you go to music, the most beautiful musician singer is a black man. The most created drummer in the world is a black man. The most fastest runner in the world is a black man. The most fastest and biggest rapper in the world is a black man. Which competition do you ever do with black man and win? So black man is not your mate. Respect black man. Honor black man. It's only the leaders of Africa who are full with slave mentality, still believing that we are in a slavery time. Not people like us. People like us, we have realized that we are heroes. Africans are heroes. Black Africans are heroes. Even a black African child who is born today is a hero. Is a hero. What are you not telling me? A black African who is born today is a hero. But today, you white people make your children to feel like they are heroes. Because you teach them in school that we feed Africans. You are a superior. You are a master. So whenever you see Africans, be proud of yourself. You rule them. They are your slaves. That's why your children in Europe don't even have respect for us. Because you are teaching them in school that we are their slaves. When they see us roll, they disrespect us. They talk to us like we are their slaves. When you meet a white child who is just 7 years or 5 years on the street here, if he talk to you, you will know that this person, this child get a board to talk to me like this. Why? Because they have been teaching those children in school that you are their slave and they are the masters. You know, when I met a white child, he told me that, oh, you know, my mother told me that you people were white before, but you were born in hellfire. That's why you people are black like this. I was so happy to hear that word from a child of 12 years old in Ethiopia. And I told him, oh, your mother told you that? He said, yes. I told him, yeah. Then I will show you an example. You people were the people who are black because we born you. You were black before, but you born in hellfire. That's why you are white like this. He said, how? My mother told me you black were white before, but you born in hellfire. That's why you are like this. I told him, okay, wait, I will show you an example. That time, I think fire burned me somewhere in my hand, and it was white. You know, as a black like this, when fire burn you, when you're burned by fire, it get white. The place get white. So that place was white. So I saw him. I told him, look, you realize this, that fire burned me here? He said, yes, with cigarette fire. I said, okay. You see how it's white? When I was born, when all my body is born with fire, then I will be white like you. So you were black before. When you born with fire in hellfire, you people get this white color. He cried. He was sad that he believed in me than his mother, because I saw him every day, but his mother couldn't saw him every day. And the mother wanted to fight me because he said I was misleading the child. You know what happened? That was the reason. The mother came to me to say that I am misleading the child. And I said, me and you, who is misleading the child? You first told your child that we are born. I move with your child every time. Go with your child to the shop, buy things for your children, because I am a man who I always so love to people. But I didn't know that you were teaching your child in the house how to hate me, how to look down on me. Today you are telling me I'm the one misleading your child. Me and you, who is misleading the child? White. I saw a white man also making rubbish comments. If you are a white man or a white woman and you saw my video, you are not comfortable with it, don't comment. Because if you comment, do you know what happened? I laugh at you because you are a fool. I see you as a white fool who don't understand. I laugh at you. I'm a black man who can never be intimidated by your words on media as a white, or you saw my video somewhere, you make a rubbish comment. I live among white and I know who white is, so you can tell me who you are. If you white, or as a white man, you make a rubbish comment under my video, I see you as a fool. I'm a big fool at that matter. You know why? Because you are my children's. White men are my children's. We feed you every time. Now we stop feeding you. You are all getting angry. Because we stop feeding you. If you know you are giant, you people are heroes, you people are this, you people... Another person is calling. Why? He's coming?
Again, somebody was calling to stop live. I write. It stopped. We need to fast renew. In Facebook also?
No, in Facebook I'm good. Okay. It's okay. Somebody was just calling me. I know. I think I need to know what I know what to do.
Because you have too much views.
No. I need to stop the number. You know. When you give people a chance to communicate with them, they play with you. They play with your intelligence. I will just remove the number from my phone and stop communicating with people. So I will just make my contents and leave them.
In this small
No, I will not communicate with nobody. Just cancel the number directly. Buy another new SIM card. Drop the number down so that I will not communicate with nobody. Yeah, I think that's the best solution. Is it there?
Dobra, I wrote. Life will be restarted.
Come on, I can't restart. I will just leave it like that. I don't know if you people can see me because someone called me to interrupt my life. The problem is not the white men. The problem is your fellow black Africans. Of course. Donald, that is fact. And I already realized that for a very long time. The problem is not white people. Some white people write rubbish comments. But the problem who fight me the most are my fellow Africans. Because as an African, they don't listen what you are saying. They just see you in the position you are. Is it there or not? Why? Wait, give me your phone. Guys, I think I will stop Facebook Live and continue with TikTok Live. What is this? I want to check that.
You want to go to yours? Okay. If you go to my video, there is always your name.
No. Somebody was writing as they are reporting my life. It's not about reporting my, but okay, let me go out and comment back live again.
Okay, so I see. I need to tell them to go out from this live and again to...
Yeah. And again to enter again. Let me go out and enter again, back and again. Maybe I will join 2 or 3 people. What is time? 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock now. 3:44. Somebody say your voice is not clear. Okay. Let me go out here and come in again. Somebody was calling me. The numbers that were calling me when I'm live, after live, I need to block all of them. I don't need to communicate with them anymore. I'll block all of them.
But they don't know.
They know. They are just doing it to interrupt me. People feel to interrupt people. They are doing it just to interrupt me. A black man were calling me. The other number was like a Italian number. The other number was like a Spain number 34. I think +34 is Spain. I need to block them because they interrupt me. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys for seeing me. Thank you guys.
6%. That's why I wanted to go here.
It's going. Just that TikTok is more powerful than your phone. You understand?
And here is 12.
Your phone is never charged. Okay, then don't worry. In the meantime, just 15 minutes, I will go off. I have 4 o'clock. I need to go offline. So don't leave this. Maybe later.
I can make from second one.
Later.
Okay.
Around 7 or maybe.
Just say goodbye then.
In around 4, I will close.
Okay. It will be in 3 minutes off.
No, not in 3 minutes. It can manage 15 minutes. Don't worry. Yeah, people were interrupting my life, so that's why my life was cutting absolutely. But I really understand, and I'm so happy also I make my points clear before any other thing will happen. Even my other life also was cut off, I think, 2 times. But I understand, maybe some people also make reports of my videos, especially when I'm speaking to white people like this. They get so much angry to report my lives, to report my videos. They get so much angry when I'm speaking like this about them, or trying to speak about the, are you an officer? When I'm trying to tell them who they are and what they did and what they normally did, they're angry to tell them who they are. If you tell them what they did, it make them check your mic. Somebody says check your mic. Where is this thing? I think I need to connect this thing for the meantime. Maybe in that way you people will hear me loud and clear, right? Very, very, very fast. It will be clear. You people will hear me loud and clear. Don't worry, guys. Let me connect this. Somebody was telling me check your mic. I think people cannot hear me that much.
It's good.
It's good? Then the person mic was not good. Was telling me that they can hear me. Do you hear me? You hear me now? No? You hear me now? Clear? I know even people are telling me we are hearing loud and clear. I think that one also will be someone who want to distract me. Because there are people like this who came to my life. When they don't like what I'm saying, they pretend to say, "Oh, we are not hearing your mic, your this, your voice is silenced." So that they will interrupt me to stop my topic. So that I will start checking what is going on, what is going on, you know. Yeah, I know people like this. I know the strategy.
You were switching the microphone.
No, it was not that. My life was perfectly clear. Even before I fixed the microphone, someone was writing there. We clear you loud and clear. So it was someone who just wanted to interrupt me. So I understand them, the strategy of what they use. Sometimes people like this came into my life. But I don't blame them. You can only stop those who are created by themselves, but not those who are created by God. A man that God created to fight for Africa will always stand to fight for Africa. So don't worry. I'm not worried. Not worried. Ifeko, of course, people can hear me. People can hear me loud and clear. I think some racists write that comment there, saying that he don't hear me just to interrupt me because I was talking about white and how they behave. So it hurt them. So there are white people among you here watching me. You will not know them all. They don't have profile. They are the white people who don't have profile. Some are there, they are black people. They don't have profile. They open Facebook account, fake TikTok accounts to join my life just to interrupt me. But please, as a black man, if you are fighting me, believe this, that you are fighting against your father and your mother. Because your father and your mother is living in Africa. That Africa we are fighting for. That Africa we want to liberate. If you don't pity your own mother and your own father, we pity them. We see them as our own peoples. If you don't see your own mother, your own parents as your own peoples, we see them as our own peoples. I don't see only my parents as Africans. I see each and every parent in Africa as a real African parent, and I respect them and I want them to live long and I want them to have peace at their old age. To always be proud of the youth of Africa. So if you're an African youth, you fight against me. I'm not worried about you. But if you're a white man or a white woman, you do rubbish just to interrupt me or just to do something. I don't blame you. You for white, you are stupid to fight against me because you are fighting against someone who feed you. You are fighting against me because Africa stopped feeding Europe. Now you are all angry. Citizens are angry. Government is angry. Ministers are angry. Be angry. We are not going to feed no Western country again. And Russia will not feed you. Africa will not feed you. Then let's see now who feed who and who is the king of this world, this planet. We want to know which continent is the king of this planet. That's what we want to know right now. And it must be clear who feed who. When your prime ministers tell you that they feed Africans, it must be clear now if they feed Africa or Africa feed them. It must be clear. Because when you are the people who feed us, we will not chase you away from Africa. So now we chase you away from Africa, you are angry. Why are you angry? If you are the one feeding us, when we chase you away, you should be happy. You should come to sit in your continent, in Europe, and say, okay, since Africans chase us, we are feeding them. Now we will not feed them. Okay, let's leave them alone. But you are not ready to leave us alone. You are forcing to go back there again. We deport you, you want to go back. Why? Why? And you tell your people you are the one feeding us in Africa. Can you feed Africa? Africa that is full of fruit, natural fruit from God. God bless us with natural food. We don't manufacture food. We eat it them naturally because God give us naturally. You can feed a continent that was given a food by God. That God give them a natural food that they don't manufacture in chemicals or in any other thing. When you, the Europeans, Western peoples are eating things that are in fridge for 7 years. You are eating things that are in fridge for 6 months. We don't put it in fridge. We don't have fridge. That's why we don't care about fridge in Africa. Go to many African countries, they don't care about fridge. We pluck it directly from the natural tree and eat it naturally. That's why we are more healthy, because we are not eating chemicals. We don't eat your chemical things. So you survive through chemicals. You say you feed us. Mango you see in Europe here, you get it from Africa. Cause who you see in Europe here, you get it from Africa. Many things, even biscuits you people are eating, here. Huh? You get it from where? From Africa. Farine, you can't get farine. Europeans, they don't have farine. They get it from Russia grain. The grain that Russia banned to give to Europeans, wanted to give to Africa for free. That same grain was the grain Europeans buy from Russia and use it as a farine to make bread. Now, do you know, before in Europe here, 5 bread is €1 before. I want to tell you this, my people, so that you can believe whatever I'm telling you. Before in Europe here, 5 bread. I don't know about any other country, but the country I'm staying, 5 small bread, a bread like this, maybe long like this, 5 long bread like that, not that much long, but 5 bread like that was like €1. Then later when the war started, things began to go difficult. For 3 bread, €1. Now Russia stopped the grain, 2 bread, €1. 2 bread, €1. Russia stopped the grain. Now farine is not easy to get. Before they will say December, bread, 1 bread will be €1. We know what is coming in Europe. We know. ECOWAS is part of France, my brother. Yes, we know. ECOWAS is a group that was created by them. They created ECOWAS organization and give to Africa. By faking African leaders that if you people, any African leader who join ECOWAS organization, then ECOWAS will be the one to protect you if your militaries want to make coup against you. This make many African leaders to go in because African leaders want protection. But that was not the reason that they formed ECOWAS. Western people formed ECOWAS organization. That was not the reason. The reason to organize ECOWAS soldiers in Africa, it was like this. To protect the Western puppetry, the Western thieves, the Western criminals, the Western terrorists. To protect themselves. The Westerns, they do that ECOWAS soldier organization to protect themselves. Look today, why they don't send EU soldiers to go and fight against Niger, to go and restore Bazoum into Niger? Why they don't send American soldiers? Why they don't send Inglaterra soldiers? When they are forcing Africans to join in ECOWAS to go and fight against their brothers. And later you will see in their media, in their Western media, that Africans are in war. Africans are in war again. Who created war? They will never say that. Who created the war? Who caused the war? They will never mention that. They will just say Africans are fighting against each other. Africans are killing each other. But who created the war? They will never mention it. They will never say EU created the war. The war is happening in Africa and it was created by EU. They will never say it. They will never say the war is created by us. We created this war. They will never say that. They always make themselves like they are innocent devils. The devil, remember, if you are a Christian, remember this. Your Bible tells you the devil is here to kill, steal, and destroy. So who is killing and stealing and destroying you Africans? You know. So who is the devil? Who is the devil today? God says, you believe, you the human beings, you believe you are all living in human form, but you are not all not human beings. There are devils living among you in human forms. Who are those devils? Who are those devils that are living among us right now in human form? Niger. Now Niger is the toppest name in all Western countries. They are always talking about Niger, 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 Niger. Why are you focusing on Niger when Niger citizens are not complaining? Niger citizens are not complaining that they don't want Abdurrahman to rule them. Niger citizens are in fact so happy for Abdurrahman to take power, to rule them. Niger citizens are so happy and celebrating every day. Niger citizens are celebrating every day. We are seeing them, they are doing demonstrations to chase France away. That we don't need France, we don't need EU, we don't need NATO camp in our countries. Leave us alone. We want Abdurrahman to rule us. Now, if EU and Western puppetries, Western terrorists want to remove Abdurrahman from power, don't they know that they are against the same human right that was created by them? They created that human right. They created the law in human right. We didn't create it. What you create, that's what I'm using against you. Because the West is the one that created the human rights organization, and they are the peoples who wrote the rules in human rights organization. So in human rights organization, this is against human right. Whatever you want to do in Niger right now is against human right. And we have to say it's against human right. So if any threatening words coming out from ECOWAS or these stupid dog African leaders, then I will say the West is violating the human rights law. European Union, you people are violating the human rights law. France President Emmanuel Macron, you are violating the human rights law. American President Joe Biden, you have been violating the human rights law. Nobody talk about it. But the time you want Africans to accept what they don't want to accept, you tell them that if you don't accept, you are violating human rights law. That same human rights law, you the idiots are violating right now. But you will never complain about that. That same human right, you complain that if Africans don't accept LGBTQ, they are against human right. That same human right, you idiots are violating right now, but you will never ready to accept. Now you will never hear human right. You will never hear Western people telling Africa about human right. They will keep quiet. But the time you want Africans to accept that stupid culture from you so that you can reduce and shrink the population of Africa, you tell them to accept LGBT. Now you were telling Africans that if you don't accept LGBTQ, means you are violating human rights. Now you bring human rights to protect your evil project that you brought to Africa. But now, when you are doing another evil thing that is against human rights, you refuse to talk about human rights, right?
Right, I checked.
How is it? Okay. Yeah.
Not yet. Oh, okay.
Good. Okay. Good. Guys, I think you can hear me now. I think you guys can hear me now. Okay. Good. Gambian former president Yahya Jammeh, when Gambians were removing Yahya Jammeh, the West was supporting Gambians removing him because they realized that leader, when that leader go out, they will get Gambia. If Yahya Jammeh didn't go out from Gambia, they can never get Gambia as they want, because Yahya Jammeh was a man of freedom, of liberation, of revolution. They do all sorts kind of things to support Gambians to remove him. Now Niger also stood up to say they remove the Bazoum. They want Abdurrahman. Why are you complaining? Why you don't support Niger also to stand and remove Bazoum? You should even support Niger to stand on this what they are doing right now. You should not go against it, since you support Gambians of removing their former president because you say Gambian president don't want him. You join Libyans to kill Mohammed Gaddafi because you told Mohammed Gaddafi that Libyans don't want you go down. Now Bazoum, Niger people don't want Bazoum. They bring him down. Why are you complaining? If you are not evils, if you are not planning evil in Niger, if you are not stealing from Niger, if the West is not an evil peoples, you join Libyans here to kill Mohammed Gaddafi because you said to Mohammed Gaddafi that your people don't want you. They are agents, you go down. Somebody write what's my Facebook name. PANDI official videos. My Facebook name is PANDI official videos. You join Mohammed Gaddafi, the West. Europeans, Americans, UK, they all join Libyans here to kill Mohammed Gaddafi because they said, Mohammed Gaddafi, your people don't want you, you have to go down. Now Nigerian people say they don't want Bazoum, they want Abdurrahman to rule them. Why are you complaining there? What is your business there if you are not criminals? The West is a criminal. The West, they are criminals. They are terrorists. They are bandits. They are fools. They are criminalizing Africa each and every day. Stealing from Africa, thieves, very big thieves. But today you put you describe Africans as thieves, as criminals, because you think Africans are like you, because that's what you are better off doing. We don't know West in good things. We know West in criminalizing, in terrorizing, in stealing. The West, the only thing that West can do is to steal and criminalize and kill and destroy. That is the only thing they can do. Apart from this, what can West do for Africa? Apart from stealing from Africans, destroying Africans, criminalizing Africans, terrorizing Africans, what did West did for Africa? What have they done for Africa? What? Do they ever help Africa to be free or to get themselves? They have never done it. They have never helped Africa in all this. The only thing they could do is to terrorize Africa. But what have Africa done for West? In Congo or Togo, I don't know. I think it's Congo or Togo. Congo. In Congo, there was a stone that came out from Congo. European Union sent their soldiers there to go and guide that place. There was a stone that came out there. If you put some wires like this, the stone bring out light. The stone give light energy. European Union steal everything from Congo. In this 2022, it happened in 2022. They steal every stone from Congo. That stone give light energy. It was a stone that give light energy in Congo. European Union sent their soldiers to steal everything in Congo. They never talk about that. Congo, they were doing demonstration to chase European soldiers. I think I even have the picture in my computer. Someone sent me the picture from Congo when they were chasing Europeans away. But they were still there. They were forcing themselves on Africans. The only thing that is making me angry right now is I don't understand why. When you talk about human rights, bring your human rights law and let's put human rights in Niger right now. Let's put human rights in Niger and know who is right. If you put the same human right when you were bringing the evil project called LGBTQ to Africa, the same way you brought human right with it, bring human right in Niger. No need to fight. Just bring human right law. Let's see what human right law determine. Bazoum can never become a president in Niger. It's over for him. It's over. If the West think like these dog leaders, they are paying off to go and fight against Abdurrahman, let them go. Today is the last 7 days. Today is Sunday, right? Today is the last 7 days. So tomorrow they should go and remove Abdurrahman if they are ready. If they are not afraid. If the West and the puppet stupid leaders they are sponsoring in Africa to fight, Bola Tinubu, if you are not afraid, if you are not just bragging, old man with that dirty mouth, Fool. Akufo-Addo with big head. Fools. Go to Gambian president with that big stomach, always eating people's money. Your ministers are producing Gambian women. The advisor to the Gambian president have been sleeping with people's wives. I have your audio here. I have your sex audio here. Gambian president, you couldn't do nothing about that. Now you want to go and do something. We should even bring you down. Do you know you and Bozum, as a Gambian president, you and Bozum, you are all evils. Your advisor do someone. I have his sex audio in my phone. I have his bungalow picture, his bola. The advisor to the Gambian president, his bola. I have the picture in my computer here. I tell them I will never delete it. Whenever I hear them speaking, I will bring out all of them and put it on media. You people think we are fools. How many of the Gambian president ministers, their bola come out? Do Sanwo is another minister of the Gambian president. Your sex video come out here, we watch it. Ibrahim Silla, another minister to the Gambian president. Your bungalow picture, I have it still. We have all this. The only thing you could do with your ministers is to just keep on sleeping with people's wives in the Gambia. Because you people are the government. So you have the power to sleep with people's wives. And nobody can do nothing about it. Now you are saying, can you talk where men will talk? When men are talking about war. You Gambian president and your ministers, you want to talk about war. When you people just know how to take Gambian school children who are underage, to take them to the hotel and sleep with them, pay them off. I have most of your ministers' cases on my table. I ignore it because I feel like that country needs a serious revolution. That country needs a serious revolution. Why? God, why? Why? If you check that Senegal president who was dating a Gambian journalist, for a very long time we know it. Senegal president who was dating Suka Momis around and dated a Gambian journalist who was in support of whatever Senegal president is doing right now. We know all. We just watch you people and leave you. But it's not like we don't know your secret. When we sit here, we can sit here and talk about your secrets. From now till tomorrow morning, we will talking about your secret. What you do. Why? Why? How many times do children of underage send me voices and pictures of the ministers who want to rape them, who want to take them to hotel? How many times do I publicity here? In Mandinka, I speak in Mandinka those times. People who cannot speak my language, they don't hear me. But I speak about it here many times. Many underage children communicate me here to narrate the story to me, and I found out that is the truth. When I called the minister by themselves, they started to fool me. Who are you going to fool? I said, PANDI MAICA, you believe you are a minister. When I get the contact, how can I get the contact of minister? Because their contact was with those small girls. If I go to Gambian minister right now, can you give me a contact? I want to be speaking with you. He will tell me that, my brother, how can I speak with you? He will feel like his level is more than me. But you are giving your number to 17 years old girls in the Gambia to sleep, just to sleep with them in the hotel. 17 years old girls, school girls, they have your numbers. They have the number of ministers. But people like us who want the country to develop cannot have the number of the ministers. This is what has happened. God help us. God help Africa. Go and sit and think. Bola Tinubu, Adama Barrow, Gambian president, Macky Sall, Senegal president, Akufo-Addo, Ghana president. You people should just go together. You 4 leaders, just gather yourself together and form a meeting of you 4 people. Sit and think that the West, the fight you want to do in Niger, is it for your peoples? Are you fighting this freedom for your peoples? No. Are you with Africans in this? No. Are Niger citizens aware of what you want to do? Are they in support of ECOWAS? No. So why are you going to do it? Just because of the benefit of West, you are doing it. That West, do they care about your peoples? No. Do they help you to develop? No. Do they help you in any way to build project in your country? No. They only steal from you and destroy you. Sit and think and discuss this between you 4 leaders. You dog 4 leaders. Maybe you will find out the truth by yourself without me speaking here, advising you. You will find out the truth when you sit and think. Trust me. You will find out the truth by yourself. That this fight, you are trying to put your soldiers together to go and fight against Niger military coup leader, Abdurrahman. You are doing it for the Europeans, for Americans, for UK, to get more power to steal from Africa again. Why? We are removing them. You as an African leader, instead of for you to go in support and support the Niger coup leader, so that we can chase our thieves away, you are helping them to come in back again. When we chase them, they have gone now. Now we have Africans who become threat. I have been saying this. I say we have Africans who will become threat to African liberation. But the only thing they could get is to murder them. We will have Africans. I have been saying this for so long, that we will have African brothers who will become threat to the African liberation. You see, our own brothers who call themselves leaders of Africa, instead of for them to put hands together to support this leader Abdurrahman, to chase France away more and more, to support another country to do the same thing, so that we could all get ourselves and become together as one big family in Africa, one people. But they are there. Now Africa is separated into two. This is what white people want. They never want the unity of Africa. If this other side is uniting, they go to this other side and pay them off to be on their side. This is what they always want, to see us fighting against each other. God help us. May God help us. May God help Africa. Yeah. But we will never stop this liberation. We will keep on fighting till the last drop of our blood. If anything will happen, let it happen. Come on. If I die, don't cry. Just sit and think. Will Africa still continue to liberate? Sit and think about. But if I die, don't cry. That is what we want. We have to sacrifice. There must be people who will sacrifice for Africa to be liberated. If we don't have people who are ready to sacrifice, there will be no liberation. Liberation cannot come without sacrifice. There must be people who are sacrificial peoples to the land, and the land will get the freedom. And we are ready to be those sacrificial peoples to Africa. Let us die, let Africa be liberated. If we die today, if I PANDI die today and Africa will be liberated, then I'm ready to die today for Africa to be liberated. If at all today, if I die, then tomorrow Africa will get itself, all Africa will be developed. Then let me die today, let Africa be liberated. I swear to God, this is from my heart. My own heart. If God knows, if PANDI die today, then Africa will be liberated tomorrow. Then let PANDI die today and Africa liberated. Because my family is in Africa. At least even if I don't enjoy, but my family will enjoy the freedom that the sacrifice I do is not go in vain. Because my family will enjoy the freedom of Africa. So we are no more thinking about how to die or whether we are going to die when we stand for Africa. If we are not worried about that, that is normal thing. May God help us. May God help us. But whatever they are planning in Nigeria, I'm just laughing at ECOWAS. They can't do nothing. The only thing is I just want unity. That's why I speak about it. But I know ECOWAS will not go Niger. I hope today is the last day. Tomorrow they should be in Niger to fight now. Let's see now. Tomorrow is Monday. Tomorrow is Monday. Let's see if they will go. They are just bragging like NATO. NATO did the same thing. We will fire Russia. We will fire Russia. Every time they saw us, NATO get fighters. NATO is training. They want to fire Russia. Nothing happened. The same thing ECOWAS also is doing. ECOWAS is preparing. ECOWAS soldiers are preparing. ECOWAS soldiers are preparing. With AK-47, you are preparing for a war. That we see M16. We see 316. We are seeing 360. You never know 360 degree. 360 degree. No matter how your jet fighter can fly, it will bring it down. That is called 360 degree. Russia give it to Niger. And Russia give the same thing also to Burkina Faso. That is called 360. Let them go. We are waiting. No problem. Tomorrow, today is the last day. Tomorrow they will be in Niger to fight. We are waiting if there will be war or not. I know there will be no war. A coward who is a slave cannot fight a war. A black man who is a slave to a white man cannot win a war with his fellow black man who is ready for revolution. Niger is ready for revolution, and ECOWAS is a coward Africans who are ready to remain slavery for Europeans, and they can never win war against any African country that is already liberated. And Niger is already liberated. Mali is already liberated. Burkina Faso is already liberated. Guinea is already liberated. Which country are you going to fight against? Maybe if you go fight against Gambia, if ECOWAS fight against Gambia, I will say they may win because we have another coward leader there. But Niger, do you know who is Abdurrahman? Abdurrahman, the military coup leader. Do you know who is he? He was the one fighting against the terrorists in that Sahara, between Niger and Algeria. They know him. Let them go there. That man is not afraid of death. He don't have time for rubbish. He was not having good materials. Now they supply him with weapons. That man is even worried to see ECOWAS soldiers, so that he is even worried to kill. He is now in a hurry to say that let them come. He is just sitting waiting. He is in a hurry to just press button. Fire. Fire. Go. ECOWAS, what do you have? Just AK-47 and that little bit missile that you put on your neck like this. That little bit missile, that little fake stick, plastic bomb that you put on your neck like this and throw. Only that one and AK-47 you want to go and fight. Go. We are waiting for you. The West is pushing ECOWAS. Did the West supply you with weapons? The person who loves you, if he pushes you into war, will support you with good weapons. The West is pushing you, they are not giving you weapons. But Russia so support to Niger, they give Niger a soldiers. Russia Wagner group are in Niger. Because they so support. They send weapons. Algeria send their soldiers and their troops and their weapons to Niger. Mali did the same thing. Burkina did the same thing. Guinea did the same thing. Turkey also was saying that they want to send their soldiers to Niger. And even Chon Chon Chon, I don't know what they call him. This North Korean president, who is a madman in war. He is saying that if the West don't stop what they are doing, he is going to send weapons and soldiers to Niger to support themselves. North Korean president, everybody know him. The youngest and the maddest president in the world. Even the whole mighty America feared that man. Very good, Kim Jong-un. His name itself is very funny. Kim Jong-un. It's not funny though. It's not funny though. But it's not an easy task for ECOWAS to go into Niger. It's just a fake news. They are just bragging so that the Niger coup leader, military leader, will go down and put Bazoum into power. But they can't do nothing. They know it that they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. Cameroonians stand up. They can't do nothing. The almighty America is afraid of a man. When I watched his speech about Niger, I was like, nothing can be done again. They can never restore Bazoum. We should not feel afraid. There will be no war in Niger. ECOWAS will not go to Niger. The whole world is afraid of that North Korean president. Because he a man who is always saying that he wants war. He don't want peace. That is the only president who always said that he missed to kill people. He wants to do war. He is the only president, the North Korean president. He is the only president who announced it to the world that which country want to go in war with him because he wants war. He is the only one who will announce that. That's why they say he don't have respect for elders. That's how they call him. They call him that he's a madman. He don't have respect for elders. Because he is the only one who stand in the whole world and announce that which country want to go in war with him. Because he is creating weapons, he don't know where to test them. He tests it in the air, in the sea. He don't know which country to test. He want to test how his weapons will destroy human beings. So he is searching for war. Now, if ECOWAS want to go and try him, we will not talk. ECOWAS is just bluffing. When I see these leaders, I'm not even seeing ECOWAS soldiers talking. I'm just seeing these doc leaders parading themselves that we are putting things together, we are doing this, we are doing that. And I am seeing something. Don't involve Libya in this war. Don't involve Libya. I beg you. Don't involve Libya in this fight. Because that's what I am seeing. I don't know what they are planning in Libya. They are planning something in Libya right now. Don't involve Libya in this war. Because Chad have already arrested 6 France soldiers and they refuse to release them. They said they want to know what the 6 France soldiers came to do in their country. 6 France secret military generals. Chadian president arrest them. Chadian militaries arrest them in the Sahara. They said they were lost, so they find themselves in Chad. So Chadians arrest them. Don't involve Libya in this war. Okay. We are watching. Guys, I will leave you here. Let's leave the rest to the gods. I will close my life here. Let me have some time for myself. But believe in this, that our prayer is for Niger and our support is in Niger. And nothing will happen in Niger. Don't be afraid. Nothing will happen in Niger. That's a promise from me. If you don't believe me, just cut this small part and save it and write it from today. PANDI said nothing will happen in Niger. And let's see what will happen. Nothing can happen in Niger. They can't do nothing. Let's just pray to God, Let they don't use these foolish militaries who call themselves ECOWAS to be terrorizing everywhere in Africa. That is the only problem I am thinking of. Because they can use these foolish people to be terrorizing everywhere. They cannot use them to bring down Abdurrahman in Niger, but they can use them to create terrorist group around to be terrorizing everywhere in Africa, like they were doing in Mali and Burkina, forming terrorist group that are destroying them, killing innocent peoples everywhere. So they can do the same thing, just to destroy the name of this army general. They will say the army general is killing Nigerians. Why they will be the one to create terrorist group between Niger and somewhere and to be killing? Maybe between Niger and Nigeria, they will create terrorist group there that will be killing Nigerians, going into Niger and kill people and come back to Nigeria and base there. So this is the only strategy they are good at. I know, and that is the only strategy they can do. So we just pray for that, May God save Africa, and may God save Africa from war. May God save us from every evil war that they are planning against Africa. May God save us from those wars, and may the war go back to sender. May any war that the West plan against Africa, may it come back to them. We are living in the West, but even if war happen, we are not worried. Let war happen. We want more war in West. We want to see more war in Western countries because they cause us so many wars. So we are praying that whatever plan our enemies plan against Africa shall never prosper. It shall go back to sender. And God will save Africa, and God will help us to liberate ourselves. And we always pray that before the end of this year, each and every African country must know where they stand and must have a revolutionary as a leader who will take them to the high level of developments and give them the high level of job opportunities and give them the high level of standard that no Western country will ever play with the black peoples anymore. It is over, and we pray for good health and long life. May God save us all anywhere you are as a black man, either you are living in America, especially we are those who are living in Western world, Western countries. May God save us because we are living among our enemies and they are very diabolic and they are very wicked and heartless. So may God save us from them. Whatever they plan against us in their countries shall never prosper. It shall go back to their children. If they plan that we should die, we will die in their countries, it shall go back to their children. May God save us from the wicked hands, and may God save the wicked Africans who will become a terrorist or a distraction to the liberation of Africa. May God save us from them, and may they never see the new light of Africa. May the new light of Africa become an history for them. God bless you all for watching me. Thank you guys. I'm so happy being with you guys. Thank you guys.